What we're going to do now is take a look at how if we change the parent function into that vertex form, how it's going to look when we graph it and how it will change the look of the graph. So this first thing we have to do with y equals the quantity x minus 2 squared plus 4 is we need to determine the vertex. Now as I mentioned earlier, when we talk about determining that vertex, it's going to be taking a look at this equation. If it's inside the parentheses with the x, that makes that your x coordinate. So in our case here, because it doesn't look normal, for those of you who had Mrs. Lohr last trimester know that it would, she talked about the asylum. X minus 2 means that we've got 2, and it's positive for our x coordinate. And then we have this plus 4 on the outside, which is going to make our 4 for our y coordinate, because if we were to take this plus 4 and move it over here, we'd have to subtract it, and y minus 4 implies that plus 4. Now, what we're going to do next is create our t-table. We're going to choose 2 points on either side of that vertex. So in my table, I'm going to put my 2, 4 in the middle. And that's because since it is the vertex, we want to see what it does on both sides of it. So because that is a positive 2, I'm going to make my life easy and just go 1, 0, and then 3, 4. Now once we do this, then we're going to go ahead and substitute into the function to solve for y. So if I put in 0, I have y equals 0 minus 2 squared plus 4. 0 minus 2 is negative 2. Negative 2 squared is 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. Then if I put in 1, y equals 1 minus 2 squared plus 4. 1 minus 2 is negative 1. Negative 1 squared is 1. 1 plus 4 is 5. And then we do 3. Y equals 3 minus 2 squared. And you should be already seeing a pattern here. 3 minus 2 is 1. 1 squared is 1. Plus 4 is 5. And I'm guessing you can probably already guess right now what this next one is. So we will do 4 minus 2 squared plus 4. 4 minus 2 is 2. 2 squared is 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. And then as we've been doing thus far, we're going to plot and connect our points. And remember, we need to have that smooth curve in the end. So we can go ahead now and we plot 0, 8, which means it lies on the y-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then 1, 5. 2, 4. 3, 5, and 4, 8. So now if I draw this curve, and then we make sure we put our arrowheads on the end so we represent the fact that we understand that our parabola keeps going forever up in both directions. Let's take a look at another example. I want you to go ahead and try this example first on your own. Let's pause the video, and then once you've tried it, then go ahead and hit play again so you can check your work. All right, when I take a look at this problem, I look in here to define the vertex, and a plus 1 tells me that my x-coordinate is a negative 1, and this plus 3 tells me that my y-coordinate is a 3. So I'll put that in my middle, negative 1, 3, and so because that, I'm going to put 0, 1, and negative 2, negative 3, to complete out. Then I'm going to go ahead and substitute my values in. So I have y equals, don't forget that negative sign, negative 3 plus 1 squared plus 3. So first I need to take negative 3 plus 1, which is negative 2. Then I need to square that, which is 4. Then take the negative of it. So negative 4 plus 3 is negative 1. And then I've got y equals the negative of negative 2 plus 1 squared plus 3. Negative 2 plus 1 is negative 1. Negative 1 squared is 1. Take the negative of that, so it's back to negative 1 plus 3 is 2. Then we have 0. So y equals the negative of 0 plus 1 squared plus 3. 0 plus 1 is 1. 1 squared is 1. take the negative of that, which is -1 plus 3 is 2. And y equals the negative of 1 plus 1 squared plus 3. 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 squared is 4. Take the negative, which is -4, plus 3 is -1. And we have -1. Finally, we're going to make these points to graph it. So -3, -1, -2, 2, -1, 3, and 0, 2, and 1, -1. Now as you can see, this one, when I make the curve, goes downward. And the reason why it goes downward is because in our original equation, we had that negative value. So therefore, a negative a value is going to make it aim downward.